Super Nintendo fans, rejoice! Pat Contri's passion project, the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, has arrived. And in today's episode, we're going to take a walk through this beauty and let you know why it's a must-own for retro gamers. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Backwoods Bastard by Founders. It's a Scottish-styled ale aged in oak bourbon barrels.
All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's jump into the ultimate guide to the SNES library.
This is Pat Contri, known as the NES Punk, and you are watching Gaming Off the Grid. Right now you're on the grid watching on YouTube though, so you have power and electricity.
All right, here we go. Pat Contri's second book has finally arrived. The Ultimate Nintendo, the guide to the Super Nintendo library.
Wow, okay, first off, these books are incredible. He has the first one, the NES Complete Library, and now the Super Nintendo Complete Library. Holy crap, these books are insane.
So we were a part of the Kickstarter for this book, and we wouldn't have done that had the first one not been something we were really happy to have. But in today's episode, we're going to look into this thing and let you kind of know if we think it's a must-own for you, the retro gamer. So far, your first thoughts, because we just got it in the mail today.
Yes, well, first off, the cover is super cool. It's hardback, which is awesome. It's like made to last. And the version we have, there's only like 500 versions available, and it has like this nice gleam to it. It has like a kind of lava-ish looking front to it. The other ones look like the NES version, but just different colors, obviously. But I kind of like this version because it's kind of unique, and it's also only 500. So.
Yeah, so there are 3 cover offerings. I believe initially you could only get this if you were a certain threshold of a Kickstarter backer. They have the traditional cover, but this one has a matte finish, and everything on the front is embossed, including the Nintendo logo and the console. You had mentioned it's kind of got like a lava or like a melted metal type of vibe to it, which is really neat. I like the regular cover too, and then the other cover is the PAL version,
which is super cool that they did that. And just flipping through, you know, it would take hours to go through and read every single game because there's so many for the Super Nintendo. But just flipping through, I love finding games I've never heard of and seeing the rating and seeing the My Reflection part, because below every game in this entire book, there's a My Reflection. They're not all from Pat. He did have a team that helped, but that is awesome that they added that.
It's really cool. So if you didn't read the first one or you don't own the first one, what do you expect when you flip through here? So first off, nostalgia smacks you right in the face. And if you watch Pat the NES Punk, Pat Contri delivers nostalgia like nobody's business. It's what he does. So he does a great job of bringing that to your hot little hands with this book. So you open it up, there's some covers, some magazine clippings, things like that is kind of what you first enter. And then as you get into the book, you mentioned there's all the Super Nintendo games. North American and PAL versions.
In alphabetical order.
Yep. There's a rating. It's a 5-star rating system, so it has, and they do half stars, so you'd be, 3.5, whatever. And then there's a description of the game, and then at the very end, there's a team of writers, as you mentioned. Pat's one of those folks that have a reflection on the game, maybe some of their memories of the game, or just their overall thoughts. So.
And it's really cool too, because under each game it says like the availability. So you'll say common, rare, super rare, and that's super cool to know, because like if you're flipping through, you're like, I've never heard of this, and you're like, oh, it's a common game. This game must have sucked.
Yeah, or I'm just an idiot. One of the two, right? So I think this book is coming out this year at a perfect time. We will probably do a full, holiday buying guide, but what a perfect gift for a retro gamer. I really think if you grew up in the era of Super Nintendo, or you're a video game collector, this is a must-own. There's a ton of value here.
There is, and even if you are a huge retro game collector or enthusiast, you can still learn a ton from this book. There's so many games and so many things that I've never even heard of, or like I'm just reading and learning about, and it's just fascinating, and it's such a good, fun read too.
It is, and there's also an app that you can download, and it's got the whatever those square barcodes are. I don't know what the heck those things are.
QR codes.
So it's got those, and it has basically like it will help you collect games. It'll have prices, these descriptions, and things like that right on your phone. So if you're out game hunting,
you can pull up the
You
app.
can almost bring your book with you,
which is super cool. Yeah, this is a book you want to keep at home. This is a book that's going to sit on the coffee table, be like, friends come over. What's that? Oh, I don't know. Just check it out, flip through, be like, wow, did you see the Home Improvement game on the Super Nintendo? Nintendo? I want to get that.
Yeah, and so in addition to the games, what else is in this book? It also has an accessory section,
which is so cool.
Which goes into some of the more common ones and has a similar kind of like description reflection piece on those. There is a Super Famicom spotlight. It's not all inclusive, but it's got some really cool things. And then I thought it was really cool. There's an unreleased games section.
Oh, yeah.
Which dives in and touches on some of the more popular unreleased games for the console. You can grab this book for $59.99, which for a hardbound book and the app and everything, I think that is a pretty good
That's the price of a new modern video game, and those drop in value super quick.
Yeah.
I feel like this will go up in value, and it is so worth the $60. There's so much in here, and this will last a year. I'll flip through it years from now and find new games or find new things, new information. This book is way worth that.
The website's The Punk Effect at myshopify.com. We'll put a link because it's kind of convoluted down in the description below. But I do think this is a must-own for retro gamers. I love what Pat has done with these two books. It's very inspirational. So we've watched Pat the NES Punk for a long time. For him to go for where his channel has grown and now be kind of branching off into other passion projects just speaks to his love for the craft. We actually had the pleasure to attend his panel at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. He's also working on a documentary right now.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, and you know, big picture thinking, if our channel, we've always said like we have all these pipe dream ideas. If we ever get the traction, then we want to do all these different things with our channel as that platform. And watching someone being able to do that and execute it so well is just very inspirational. So Pat, you'll never see this, but man, hell of a job with this book.
Great job with
this
book. And
for anybody that watches our channel, 100% recommend the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library. It's
speaking
kick-ass.
of recommend, let's talk about the Backwoods Bastard by Founders.
Is it Founders Beer Week here on Gaming Off the Grid? This is the second beer we've reviewed from these guys in the last, 2 days.
Yeah,
so
2 days.
This is a Scottish ale, which we haven't done a ton of those on the channel, and I gotta be perfectly honest, I don't know about you, but I haven't had a ton of Scottish ales.
Yeah, me neither, and they're very unique, but they're good. Like, it's a very unique taste, and you can, when you have a Scottish ale, you're like,
you know it.
That's a Scottish ale.
Yep. This beer, it's Founders.
Yes,
you already know what we're going to say.
It's great.
It's fantastic. So we got a tip from one of our really good friends that this beer, Walmart be slipping, folks. This beer was on sale at a Walmart in our area. We're not going to say which one, for like $6.
Yeah,
for a 4-pack.
$6.29 or something for a 4-pack.
This is like a 20
pounder.
Yeah, this is like a $20 4-pack. So anyway, we got a lot of it. And so we went in there, and this beer is very rich. It is. It does have a little bit of a burn on the finish, I feel like.
That's because I think it's aged in bourbon barrels.
Yep.
That's what it says.
Yep.
And so you can kind of taste that.
There's a lot of caramel here.
I get that very sweet taste from the caramel.
And there's that element, like if you're a Scotch fan, there's a little bit of that lingering.
Ooh, yes,
here.
there is. And I love Scotch.
You do, and so do I as well. But I think you like it a little more than I do. Yeah. Every time you get Scotch, you're like giddy about it.
I'm like,
ooh, look what I have.
I'm a king.
Yeah, so this beer is fantastic. Founders is one of the best breweries that we've had on this channel. Time and time again, they deliver. They are definitely up there in that, like Evil Twin, Clown Shoes realm. Where
so good.
Every time we get a beer from them, it is absolutely epic. And they're beers that you can find everywhere. So you, the viewer, sometimes we do beers that you may not be able to find in your area. But every Founders brew, even like their breakfast stout, their porter, the Founders Porter, all those are readily available most everywhere.
Places, yeah.
And they're very, very good. So you should give Founders a spin. And if they have the Backwoods Bastard, hang out with that bastard, because he's a good man.
And you know who else is a good man? Pat Contri with this book.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, we can't talk enough about how awesome this book is, how pleased we are with our purchase. And we just think that you need to grab it. The retro gaming fan, the game collector, I think this is the ultimate gift. If someone doesn't want to buy you a gift because you've been a bad little boy or girl, buy yourself a gift.
You're an adult. Come on.
All right, full endorsement here from us at Gaming Off the Grid. Get out and pick yourself up the Ultimate Nintendo, the guide to the SNES library. You will not regret it. It is a fantastic effort and a great piece of history for the retro game community. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid. Pat Contri's passion project. Passion. You know what I'm passionate about, dude? I'm passionate about passion. Yeah.
Cup of coffee can think that.
Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. I got home from work today, and what was on my front doorstep, Jesse?
Oh, the Games Guardian. I meant, no, the Super Nintendo Guide Library book.
That's for you, Chris. Keep trolling and rolling. Boy!